Right. Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hey Biz Buds, where six buddies running their individual businesses come together to chit chat about our highs and lows and experiences as entrepreneurs. So today we have the full squad. So
Woo,
there's
woo, woo.
Nor, there's
Hello.
Renee,
Hi, hi.
and Nisha, there's
Hello.
AJ,
Hello.
and there is Fitri. So
Okay, I'm gonna
yay.
I'm gonna hold my mic like
Oh
this.
wow, wow.
And you sound very,
Wow.
very clear. That's good.
Yes,
Better.
you should do that. You should do that.
Okay.
So basically, in every episode, so each of us takes turns to host and
Mm.
choose a topic of discussion. So
Yeah.
in this episode, I will be your host. I'm Liana, by the way, and we are going to be talking about something that is super duper close to my heart, and that is about mental health and entrepreneurship. Okay, so now before I start, I actually did some research about this.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Of
start
course you
off.
did.
Yes, of course I did, right? If not, I'm always like fumbling, but like this time around, I'm gonna do proper research. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm gonna start off with like an interesting finding I actually found. So according to a report, right, by Zero. Okay, so it says that like based on this framework to measure like well-being, right? Small businesses, okay, here these are small businesses actually have the highest well-being in South Africa, 65 points,
Oh wow.
closely followed by Singapore.
Singapore, confirm,
Points.
Ah.
So you're actually second, on well-being.
Mm.
Now, your thoughts. So
Sure
what
not.
do you agree with that?
Shocked.
Are you sure you are shocked?
Nothing new, nothing new.
So this is statistics for small business owners
Yes, small
specifically.
business owners. Yes, specifically small
Wow.
business owners. I mean, like, what do you think? Do you feel that mental health wise, you think that you have greater like well being?
Now that
Like
I'm 40, yes, I do.
I
before
think
this,
it's
no.
also because like for people like a few of us, we've
Mm.
come from the working world to entrepreneurship. So
Mm.
maybe the well-being is better because we are not working for someone else. We're working for ourselves, doing what we want. I wouldn't say all of us are small business, some of us are micro business owners, some of us are solopreneurs, but
Yeah.
it's better in the sense that we're doing what we like, so that like lifting up of that, oh okay, I'm doing my stuff and all that. That will probably be a significant way of saying better well-being. But I think there's also the flip side where we are like doing everything on ours by ourselves, and then we're like, oh, pew 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 pew, that's not really
Hair wire.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, okay, that's Manisha's thoughts. How about maybe Fitri? What do you think? Do you think you have a higher well being?
Maybe I can add on to what Manisha has said.
Okay.
It's true that being a solopreneur or you're having your own business has that freedom of time to do whatever you want. You are your own boss. You don't have to be feel anxious of getting up and having to go through the traveling, having to meet other people. I think uh that requires a lot of like mindset stuff. You need to prepare yourself, but having your own business kinds of you enjoy what you do, so that takes off the um feeling anxiousness and all of that. But yeah, when Manisha said about now that you're working for yourself and you have a lot of responsibilities that requires big decisions you have to make sometimes by yourself. um yeah.
I shall say no more.
Cliffhanger there.
I'm
Her silence,
repeating what she said.
her silence says
It's
everything.
fine.
uh yeah, Flo haven't, yeah, reaching out.
So you're saying that there's there's a good sense of well being, but there's a but there.
Yeah, that's a
That
but,
right?
definitely a
Okay.
but.
How about Eleanor, Rennie, AJ? You guys chime in your thoughts as you wish.
I was still shocked because
Must say.
I mean,
And
like,
then laugh. Okay.
like, okay, I think I sometimes I feel that our own so-called stress or mental health when it takes a downturn, nobody notices it because people always think that when we choose our own path, it's like, oh, you get to work for yourself. Oh, that's good. That impression there is like we don't stress as much as those working under a boss lah. But there's the underlying factor that we are alone. I think I'm not sure. That's the reason why I'm shocked lah. Like, is that like not being revealed or being talked about more? Yeah. That's why I'm
Probably
kind of
we have
shocked.
to go back to see what the survey means by well-being.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what's well-being mean?
Because is it just physical or mental or
Yeah.
all the other aspects?
On
But
some days we
yeah.
are really crazy, right? Macam
Some
kita
days.
really sedih, like what's happening to us macam gitu, like.
I mean, okay. So basically, by well-being, right? They mentioned that we are able to outsource the tasks that bring us less joy. So basically, our time is freed up to do more of what we love.
Okay.
So that's how they define as
I
well-being.
see.
Mm.
Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Less shock. Less shock.
Okay. Okay. So Eleanor, so how about Renee?
I think for me, if I were to add on to all the points, right? The when we become our own boss, I think we also have all the resources that we learn from others. Like for example, just now, Liana was saying it's because of we know how to outsource things and we do things that are makes us happy lah in that sense. For example, some of you may not like to do video editing, so you might outsource to people like me. So that kind of like release off the tension on your shoulders, your brain, your creativity, so you can then focus on more things that will definitely propel your business forward. So I guess the knowledge that we have, the resources that we have, especially in Singapore, and also because we are nurtured in such a way that if you don't know, you find out, right?
Yes.
So once you find out that,
Yeah.
oh, this is actually a good way or a good process to do, that's why we actually do it, which is actually outsourcing.
Okay. Okay, it's very good points. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I think when we were saying that when we don't know, right, we find out ourselves. I was thinking, when I was in school, I didn't even bother finding out anything. Because
I think follow generation also.
like teachers will always give us, like, okay,
Correct.
memorize
Yeah.
this
Fit,
page. These are your what you call that, your tips, remember the points. So all we have to do is just memorize, and whether we understand or not, it doesn't really matter. Because what matters was that you do well, you score well, and then eventually you will do well in life lah. So so when Renee said like we find out ourselves, I'm like, I don't remember
I think
finding out anything.
when I say about finding out yourself is when you become a business owner, not when you are in
Business
school.
owner.
Because
Your
when we
boss,
are in our generation, right? Our generation is the study hard, work harder, correct or not? So we are being fed with things. We are being fed like this information ABC. So we follow ABC, we can get that ABC. But I think if we were to flip into a context of right now, like I think Eleanor did share about her kid in preschool have to do critical thinking exercise already, that can actually help with the outsourcing when they become a business owners, where because they already start from young. If you were to compare in generation, we definitely start when we became older lah, when we start our business, or when we maybe for me, I only start in poly. I don't even I don't even do source out of information, or maybe because got assignment then have to lah, no choice, right? But right now I think kids are being exposed to getting all the information. Now I was also just telling the other day to Eleanor, not just kids, parents also need to know how to find all these resources.
So,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
But
oh, sorry. Eleanor wanted to say something, is it?
no, I'm just gathering that the sense of autonomy liberates us to kind of take care of ourselves, and we don't rely on anybody, and that's
Alright.
liberating. That's why we score higher. Second place.
Second,
well-being.
after South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
Wow.
How do you think,
Yeah.
AJ?
Okay, wait, I need to answer because we have so many opinions and thoughts. I forgot about the question already.
Okay, the question is, do you think as entrepreneurs, as
Mm.
small business owners in Singapore, do we have like a higher sense of well-being?
And then
Greater sense.
your well-being is like for us doing what we love and also saying,
Yeah.
okay, I would have to agree. Initially, I didn't agree with the statement, but then
Yeah,
now
same.
after listening to everyone and then like
Mm.
coming, like thinking through and everything, I guess I
Mm.
have to agree because firstly, Singapore, we're very small, right?
Mm.
And we don't have like our country itself, we don't even have natural resources. So it's by default, right? We have to really source out. We have to find ways to survive. So that's on
Right.
country level. And then we're talking about like, okay, we will skip the school and everything. Okay, wait, maybe no, let's not skip school lah. Okay, so school, initial stage, right? We are being fed information. And then as we grow older, we are forced to find our information, right? Find our information. And then after that, now we have like vast of information, like so many to the point that there's fake news and there's like non-credible information, including now we have like AI, in the
Yes.
picture. Then we have to do critical thinking, correct? We have to see, is this source reliable? Is it true?
Okay.
All those stuff. So I feel that, with everything being said, that we can think for ourselves, then I think as coming to the context of like being an entrepreneur, we can outsource, right?
Yes.
Because we don't have natural resources, right? So our highest resource is human resource. So we outsource our work, and therefore we have more time, to spend with our family, with our friends, with ourselves, and then that's why I feel like I am like
AJ wrap up the topic
I'm like,
already.
yeah, I'm like
Okay, we
agreeing
all
with that.
ending.
She agrees. She agrees.
So I guess I've been brought up quite no lah, as in I think in summary it's just that when everything being said and we are able to task things out, then we have more time, more mental space to then think about what's important, which previously it's important to us, but we don't have the time or we don't have the capacity to think about it because we're so
Yes.
busy with
Right.
everything. So now that we have some space, we can think about ourselves, our family, our friends.
Just for context, right, Liana, this statistic is which year?
This statistic, oh, wow, fact check. 2023. Last
Oh,
year.
okay. So I think
Seven.
it's also because if you're talking just about Singapore, I think it's also because the country recently has been advocating mental health, physical health.
Maybe.
We even have 10,000
Yes.
steps to clock in, those kind.
Yeah.
And we even have more parks that's connected that you can walk, that you can walk.
Yeah,
So I
now
think
got 21 challenge also.
Do you want challenge?
21.
and and then yeah, I think all these things also plays a part because the country or the government itself, the bigger organization kind of like help us to remind ourselves that you need to take care of your mental well-being or physical well-being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
This is very interesting. I realized, right, when I asked you all the questions just now, like what do y'all think about that statistic about us having a higher well-being? The first reaction that I got from most of you was like, no, are you sure?
Yeah.
Why though? But then like
It's
after
Hustle
Right, is
culture,
it
hustle culture.
right? Actually, when I was listening to everyone's views, right, I realized that we talk more on the positive side about having our own businesses, having the luxury of time to outsource and stuff like that. But I also think that the reason why we have come to this point is because we understood there is a need for us to outsource. We can outsource. We don't have to
Yeah.
look. But maybe for some other people out there, when they are starting out,
They're not.
they got used to this corporate culture. They are just, they're new
Yeah.
to running their own business. So the idea of outsourcing, or the idea of having to have that freedom of time, maybe to them, not yet. I need to do everything on my own first. I need to expand my knowledge or skills first. Then I can outsource and allow someone to do exactly how I do it. So at that part, I think we've all been in that situation, and
Yeah.
having like just now AJ mentioned that we are forced to find a solution to our problem, and that just allow our brain to actually make difficult decision.
Yes. I think I know where you're
Yeah.
going with this.
This
Yes.
discipline of having to make that continuous difficult
Yeah.
decision is
Yeah.
actually not really mental healthy positive stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I think all of us we have been that phases like what Fitri was saying, right? When we first started, it's all on us. And definitely the well-being is not there lah, because we have to do everything on our own. That's the fact check of running a small business, because we have to wear a lot of hats. But if we go on, as in we if we move forward, once we move forward, and we're not going to talk about our past. I think the information that we have, whoever that aspire to be a business owners right now, personally, I feel even on their first year of their business, they already know how to outsource. They already have the means to outsource. If they were to compare with our time, many years ago, we may not have the means, because we are still figuring out the way. But because of there are a lot of information out there that give them the tips that they can do the outsourcing, I think it's faster compared to us lah. I mean, if I were to give some kind of examples, I think some of our TFA circle members, within their first year, they already know how to outsource already. They are already building like agencies, and then they know how to delegate this work to this person, delegate another work to another person. So that is considered a win-win situation, where they know how to in a shorter time.
Am I the only one here who doesn't outsource?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should ask you why you didn't outsource.
Yeah, is it a choice?
Yeah.
It can be a choice, you know.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was a struggle. I mean, I always, with you guys, we always have this conversation about
Yeah.
outsourcing, especially when there's too much to do.
Yeah.
Work has been quiet recently, but I think I've come to a point where I am too comfortable doing things on my own. Like, I maybe my expectations are too high. So if I do outsource, it's always like the admin stuff. I never outsource the actual work for clients.
Okay.
And I've even stopped taking projects that require me to either outsource or require me to like do a different part. Like for example, if I'm writing something for social media, I just tell the person, go and hire another like designer. I'm not going to get involved in your design process at all. So I kind of eliminate the need to even worry, because outsourcing for me is stressful.
Right.
Like
Okay.
dealing with someone
People
else.
management,
Yeah, people management for me is very stressful, because it gives me social anxiety, right? So I'm like, I rather be cooped up in myself and just have a few conversations with crazy people like y'all. And I'm like, fine. I'm like, after a few days, I'll be back again, to my normal self. But I think like when we're talking about mental health and relating it to outsourcing, it's not just outsourcing it necessarily to people. It's also automating,
Yes.
right? Like for me, having simple apps to help me take down my notes, simpler apps or websites that I just want to focus on, downsizing my social media, which is something that I constantly am, talking about to myself in my head. And then, like having simple tools like invoicing and like documents that you store somewhere. It kind of helps you stay organized.
Yeah.
So that way you don't worry about the chaos So it's kind of like an organized chaos for me. Like the tools all organized. So in my mind, I'm like, whoa, I have to handle everything, which I thrive on sometimes because it makes me
Okay.
work. Like it makes me like, okay, I have to work towards it. I have to work towards it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it's also very mental health is a very subjective. It's very subjective.
Yes,
Yeah,
What
it
is,
Yes,
is.
it
you
is.
know, like for
yes.
Rini, physical activity, drives her mental. I'm like, please, I want to sit down, read book. I don't want to do squat. I don't want to do plank. I just want to read book. Thanks. Thank you very much.
You can read book while doing squats. I'm just saying, just
No
saying, just saying.
crimes.
Oh, but good idea though. So I'm like, it's like I appreciate all the different aspects, but
Yeah.
we have to try what works for us.
Of
And
course,
this
yeah.
goes back to the same, like with marketing, with sales, with our talents. We try what works for us, and then we're like, okay. And then we come to a point, like in the beginning, we're always chaotic. Like the first few years of business, it was like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that?
Yeah.
What do I sell? Who do I talk to? I don't know all these things. I don't know how to outsource, and then we learn. And then we come to a
Yes.
point where we're like, okay, this is what I like to do. So we're happier in that sense because you're like, okay, I'm more established. But the constant daily struggle always there, which I think is for
Yeah.
everything lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like what Manisha said, you have to see what works for you.
Yeah.
And also the threshold of mental health is different for everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
I think
yeah.
it's a I think like so I think Fitri mentioned, Manisha mentioned, it's always the beginning, maybe the initial stages for us, right? It was probably tougher. But now I feel, to be honest, I feel like it's a lot easier, it's a lot nicer. Because one thing is, about the loneliness, now that we have like this community, like now the Biz Buds, so now I don't that loneliness already strike off already because
It's
technically
not
you
killing
have
you anymore lah.
it's not killing me
Sorry.
anymore. I think that was I felt that was the biggest thing that affected me when I first started. Like, affected my mental health when I first started was the loneliness lah. But I think like now that, as time goes, as the experiences comes, then you realize like, oh okay, you know how to handle all these situations. So that is I mean, aside from that, do we still have time?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I mean, aside from that, loneliness aside and all the autonomy aside, how about, okay, there's another thing that they mentioned, right, which is about 10, okay, wait, let me see. Let me take a look. Okay, so there's a follow-up to that. Okay, so even though Singapore, right, we scored second, right, on the well-being side, we actually experienced the most financial distress.
Ooh.
How all of us generous to hand
So
over.
unbalanced.
Agree.
Shock or not?
So
Agree.
well-being wise, I guess when it comes to like, having your own time to do stuff, I guess that is okay. Like that was a good, right? We all have it good there. But I think the one that we faced the most, I feel would be financial distress. Do
That's
you all agree?
interesting. How none of us mentioned it just now, but the moment
Nothing,
you
right?
said it, we were like, oh yeah,
It was at the back of our heads.
Maybe we don't want to think about it lah. We
Our
Yeah.
we
mental
suppress
well-being
that
down
thing.
already.
Suppression.
No, we only
Just thinking about finance.
think about it when we see our finance book lah.
Today end of the month, by the way, we're
Those end of
recording
the-
this.
To which is today, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
so what's
do
the
you all
question?
think there's
Quiet,
a question.
This
It's just a follow-up to that. Like, I mean, what do you
Oh.
think about that? Like, do you face that as well? Like, financially, how has it
I
impacted your
think
mental health?
if it connects to mental health, I
Mm.
think it's based on the standards you set for yourself lah.
True.
I think the lifestyle you choose, I think
Yeah.
at one point you feel like maybe you reda or you like
Accept lah.
accepted your fate that okay, this is the kind of lifestyle you maybe should live, or if unless you want to go for the higher tier, then of course there's no harm you chasing and stress about it lah. But I guess it's really boiled down to how you choose your lifestyle. Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
Anyone else want to chip in, Jamin?
Maybe Manisha, we
About
asked Manisha. She has always been a business person.
Mm.
Like,
I
is this a
was-
factor? for
The thing
you?
with me is when I started my business, I was surrounded by people who give me this advice. Always think of the bigger picture. But when it in my life, generally, I am that person. I always plan like 10 years ahead, like what I want to do. But with work, I'm not necessarily that person. I want to take one day at a time or one quarter at a time. I don't see bigger picture, or I am intimidated by very big projects. Again, because I work all alone, I don't outsource and anything. So it sometimes is a struggle because I'm like, oh, if I don't take big projects, then how am I gonna meet my target? Like I've not met my target since I've gotten married, and life has been a bit all over the place.
A lot.
Yeah. So I think I've only met my financial target like maybe 1 or 2 months since, and it's been what, 8 months since I got married. So yeah, there is a little bit of sometimes I look at the numbers and I'm like, man, I can do better. Why am I not doing like it makes me sad, that kind of feeling. But from day one to now, I think I told myself that I rather earn a little bit less and be happy. Work with clients I'm happy with, work with clients who I can gel with, I can vibe with, versus take on a big corporate project that I'm constantly stressed out about. Yeah, so like Eleanor said, it's managing your lifestyle. If I know this month, like February is always the worst month for my business. So I already know February I'm going to eat less cake.
After Chinese New Year.
Yeah, I like less
Yeah.
cake, less books for me. I just have to read my TBR lah, which is like no buying new books. So I'm like, okay, I'll just manage that. Again, it's that it goes back to what goals you set for yourself. Yeah, it gets a bit depressing sometimes when you see a shortfall in your numbers. But then, I'm always grateful with you guys who always remind me like, okay, maybe that's something else you can do. Or like I said, February was horrible, but then I focused on writing and doing passive incomes and focusing on poetry. So I'm okay, I do things that make me happy. I just read 3 books in the last 1 week.
Oh,
So I'm like,
nice.
sis.
yeah, which is
Congratulations.
rare. I know, right? It's such a big deal. But
Yes,
thank
it
you.
is.
So I'm like, okay lah. I guess that's the balance between financial insecurities
Okay.
and your life expectations.
Right. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting points that everyone brought up. Yeah, I mean personally for me, I think I agree with Eleanor also. Like it depends on how you wanna your standard of living lah, right? Yeah, I constantly find myself stressed out because of that. Like, oh no, why am I not reaching that target? Yeah. So because I wanna live this certain life. So yeah, then
But you have a
that's my issue.
certain responsibility that you have set for yourself. That you've shared before.
Is it
Because
have
like
I?
yeah, like I mean,
forgot.
for us who are running agency, you feel there's a
Yes.
sense of responsibility to reach higher finance
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. So, but I think it it only comes when towards the end of the month lah, then you realize, oh no, I have so many bills to pay. Then like, yeah, that's about it lah. But anyway, very good points discussed. So I think maybe to wrap it up, right? I think like every job basically has its stresses lah. Like I think even as an entrepreneur, even if you're working as a 9 to 5, I think like all jobs has its stresses. So yeah, I think what's important is like how we deal with all these stresses. So maybe if you want to end this off, maybe you wanna give like each of us give like one solution on how we can, improve our mental health as business owners.
Run a group podcast.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what did Eno say?
Start a group podcast.
Like
Run
have
a
your
group
own group
podcast.
podcast and rant and talk about things, discuss. I think it does help in a way.
Have buddies like us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yep.
But
Very
yeah,
important, high on the list.
high on the
Have
list. Yes,
buddies.
yes. Because that's how you can understand each other, right? You if I mean all of us have friends who are an employee, and we may not be able to speak up or share our
Yes.
thoughts, our stresses, our mental well-being, because they may not understand what we are going through. So have one or two, if not if you don't want to find 6, find one or two to vibe with, check in with, because then you will feel that your journey will not be so lonely lah.
Oh, yeah.
Or join TFA circle lah.
Yeah.
Plug in, plug in.
Yes.
Yes, we welcome you with open arms.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so if you're starting out on your business journey and you're feeling lonely, please join TFA circles. You need friends to bounce ideas off with. Okay. Nice.
Such a
So
nice promotion.
Ask me for referral link. Tiba.
Yes.
Smart, and
okay.
smart.
Anyone else wants to chime in? If not, we can wrap this up.
I would like to say, do or rather celebrate the smallest little wins. We forget when we are working so hard, and like recently, the last 1 week, I've been like so tired, so stressed out, and I forget to just, okay, today I did this, today the client said well done, or I got 5 likes on my social media, which may not seem like a lot, but it's better than nothing. So always try to celebrate the smallest win and remember those to keep propelling you forward lah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Last point, always celebrate yourself, me time.
The
I
advocate.
Like it just
Yes,
mantra
the
in like every
advocate.
episode.
advocate for it. I do it every day whenever I can. So yes, to those listening, me time is very important. You can schedule important meetings, you can schedule your goals, you can schedule your work, but also do schedule your me time. It could be just reading a book, it could be watching one episode of your favorite Korean drama. It's okay. So as long as anything that makes you happy, go for a walk, whatever it is. Elinor is showing something. Is she
Yeah, I was
Read newspaper.
doodling while you all are talking.
doodling?
I was watching her the whole time, I was like,
Show.
No,
Yes,
Show.
I'm just
but it's
coloring.
yeah,
Cause
blend.
somebody gave my kids like 152 crayons.
Oh,
I'm
They
like,
didn't give
of
your
course-
kids, right? They gave you, right?
Of course I use.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Doodle.
that's for me.
Nice. All right. Great. Okay. Okay, good. I like a bit
So
nervous. I got distracted by the crayons.
So we have a
But-
crayon session.
Yeah, I want to go to your house, Eleanor. I can start the crayons. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's all that we have for today. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you managed to get some golden nuggets too from this podcast about mental health. And yeah, I know we'll see you in we'll see you in the next podcast.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.